My God, I hate trucks.
President Duterte is speaking at a campaign event in Batangas. Let's listen in for a bit.
Did I hit Batangas? Hindi, no? Salipa. I was so not generous with my promises. Ang una ko sabi ko, graft and corruption. Sabi ko, droga. Sabi ko, I will try to complete projects kung ano lang yung pera. Pero yung pera ng projects, talagang dadating doon sa proyekto. Yan sinabi ko, masahan ninyo. And 5 others yung sabi ko na kayong mga farmers, tanggalin ko na ang irrigation. Sinabi ko yan doon sa harap ng mga NPA sa Nueva Ecija. Tinanggal ko. Sabi ko, I will try to work out if we can afford it. Only if we can afford it, free education. Nandiyan na. Sabi ko, libre ang ospital. Hindi kayo tatanggihan, walang deposito, bawal na yan. Ginawa ko. Lahat naman ng sinabi ko, mali. I did not promise build. You know why? At that time, inaway ni Aquino ang China. So, na presidente ako, sabi ko, wag muna ito ko, hindi natin alam. We might suffer a rebuke. Kung gusto ka, ayaw namin kayo. So, dandahan lang ako. Tapos pumunta ako ng China, okay sila. Pumunta ako ng Russia, okay sila. O ngayon, pumunta ako ng Korea, pumunta ako ng Japan. O, tumutulong na sila sa atin. Pagana lang. Paypay kayo. Wala kayong aircon. Mag-donate na lang ako. Pero hindi kaya ng... Mainit talaga. Sa totoo lang, baski doon sa bahay ko, mainit. Grabe ang init ngayon. Lalo na yung Cagayan, it has reached. Talagang mainit. I don't know what's happening to the climate, but it's really terribly hot nowadays. Baski yung eroplano, wala na yung masyadong aircon na medyo parang ano na lang. Mainit. Ako basa na ako lalo. Dito na lang tayo sa
President Duterte there speaking at a PDP Laban event in Batangas.
Basahin ko.
Moving on, authorities on full alert as more people travel to the provinces. Security forces are now concentrated in transport terminals to make sure passengers are safe. Our George Cahiles has the story.
PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde is making his rounds in the busiest transport terminals, with the influx of passengers expected to reach its peak this Holy Wednesday. He checks if security protocols are in place to ensure that all passengers will be safe as they leave Metro Manila, going to their respective provinces this long weekend.
Medyo maluwag pa naman, magmula doon sa Cubao kanina, pangpunta dito sa PITX. Ang medyo puno kanina nakita natin sa terminal, yung NAIA. So far, everything is going smoothly, and of course, yung deployment ng mga Philippine National Police members dito, pati yung mga police assistance desk nila are all in place.
He also checks the situation of passengers, having a quick chat with them, and even posing for selfies. With the presence of the top police officer in the country, these tourists from Australia expressed confidence in their safety while traveling in the Philippines.
Pretty safe, only just arrived yesterday, so far it's been very good. Looking forward just to seeing all the sights, and this is the first time here, so it's very different to Australia.
Napaka-importante kasi that our passengers, mga commuters, to feel safe, dapat meron silang confidence na sumakay sa mga public transports natin. Ito yung ini-ensure natin, yung safety ng ating mga commuters. Kaya tayo umiikot.
At the Manila Seaport Terminal, passengers patiently wait for their trip bound for Zamboanga Wednesday night. So far, authorities say seaport operations have been smooth because of efficient coordination among agencies.
Ang pakiusap po natin sa ating mga kababayan, in and out, lalong-lalo nito sa North Harbor, I know that there are some delays, if ever, na magkakaroon po tayo ng paghihigpit ng inspection. But ito po ay ginagawa natin para sa safety and security ng ating North Harbor.
The PNP says once a surge of passengers settles, their focus will shift to securing areas of first ship and tourist destinations. George Cahiles, CNN Philippines.
Losing a limb is life-changing, but the government wants to make sure it's not the end of the line for soldiers who suffer serious injuries in battle. Our senior correspondent David Santos tells us what kind of help Marawi veterans are receiving.
It was at the height of intense fighting in Marawi when Sergeant Renato Yucogco and his team were sent to clear buildings of Maute fighters. Next thing Yucogco knew, a bomb went off a couple of meters from him. He was bleeding and realized he could barely move.
Doon pa lang sa area na nasabugan is alam ko na is putol na talaga yung pako.
Yucogco vividly recalls the blast's impact on him.
Unang-una medyo nag-init siya. Tapos nung mga nabutan ng mga ilang minuto is parang nasunog tong balakang ko sa sobrang init.
His buddy, Technical Sergeant Michael De La Vega, was also knocked out by the powerful blast.
Kailangan ko pa mabuhay kasi mayroon pang pamilyang naghihintay sa akin. Kailangan pa nila ng suporta ko.
Despite losing a lot of blood, both Yucogco and De La Vega survived, but they also lost both of their legs. After Marawi was liberated, President Duterte promised to fund a program to provide better prostheses to soldiers who lost their limbs in the war zone. A German company has been tapped to provide electronic prostheses to soldiers. These are battery-powered artificial limbs embedded with microprocessors. They are comfortable to wear and at the same time allow the user a range of motions closer to a natural body part.
Kaya rin natin sila binigyan ng mga state-of-the-art prosthesis kasi gusto natin makabalik sila dun sa battlefield. Hindi yung nandun lang sila sa offices, limited lang yung ginagalawan nila.
Instead of forever bound to a wheelchair or crutches, amputee soldiers now have more options to continue military service. At least 16 of them are first to benefit from the President's project.
Nahihirapan akong umakyat sa hagdanan. Nahihirapan akong mag-travel pagsasakay ako sa mga sasakyan. Dito, nung gamit ko na yung bagong prosthesis, yung high-tech, nakakapag-travel na ako mag-isa kahit walang gamit na saklay.
Amputation affects both physical and mental health. Experts say recovery can be very tough. At a clinic where they have been undergoing therapy for months, trainers are in awe at the soldiers' resilience and eagerness.
Palagi na mamasyal sa malls eh.
The new prosthesis will not only allow amputee soldiers to stay in service, but also provide them a more active role in the front lines through office work and even handle training.
Hindi naman siguro kawalan kung maputulan man ako ng pa, hindi naman siguro kawalan na mag-surrender na rin ako ng i-give up ko na yung buhay ko.
After their sacrifices, injured soldiers should get the best support so they too can continue providing for their families. David Santos, CNN Philippines.
The operator of the Skyway, NAIA Expressway, South Luzon Expressway, and Star Tollway preparing for a surge of motorists this Holy Week break. SMC Tollway is expecting up to 15% more vehicles this Holy Week. That's about 800,000 vehicles passing through its roads. Heavy traffic in some areas is expected today, Holy Wednesday, until Easter Sunday. SMC Tollway's president and CEO Manuel Bonoan says all their contingencies are in place, including more ambulance tellers, traffic patrol teams, and other personnel. For 24/7 assistance and traffic updates, you may contact the following SMC Tollways hotlines on your screens. From top to bottom, these are the Skyway, NAIA X, SLEX, and Star Tollway numbers. Airport authorities say passengers plan their trips early this year to avoid the holiday rush. Let's check the situation now at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. Paulo Barcelon reports live from NAIA Terminal 3 in Pasay City. Paulo, what's the latest from there?
Ruth, the line of passengers or the arrival of passengers here in the NAIA Terminal 3 has subdued in contrast to the long queues that we've seen all day and in the last few days. The Manila International Airport Authority says this is because travelers are planning ahead of time. MIAA spokesperson Connie Bungag says the peak of passenger traffic came last Friday and Saturday. This is different from the previous trend wherein passengers tend to arrive to airports during Holy Wednesday.
Today we noticed hindi siya ganon karami as we expected. Maybe because nagbago na ng travel strategy ang mga tao. Because when we reviewed the records, nag-peak kami nung Friday and Saturday.
Terminal management estimates there were at least 130,000 passengers in all 4 NAIA terminals today. Some of those we've talked to, Ruth, say they were either vacationing for the Holy Week break or heading off to work abroad.
Bonding kasi ito lang yung medyo mahaba-haba na walang work.
Wala tayong magagawa, kailangan trabaho eh. Ganun po talaga eh, trabaho eh, kailangan natin ng kabuhayan.
Meanwhile, Transport Secretary Art Tugade has issued a directive to airport authorities to give free coffee, drinks, and cookies to all waiting passengers in all NAIA terminals. Terminal management also advises passengers to fully cooperate with security procedures to avoid any inconveniences. Ruth?
Paolo, how about the flight schedules? Kasi the past days may mga flight delays. Are the passengers still experiencing that one?
Ruth, we're still seeing delays here in the NAIA as of 4 p.m. The latest data that we have from the Civil Aeronautics Board report at least 141 total delays. That's for both departures and arrivals. That's slightly lower than the 7 p.m. count from last night, which totaled 150 delays. We're still waiting on the latest numbers, but the major difference is there were no flight cancellations today as opposed to the 2 cancellations rather for both arrival and departure yesterday. Ruth?
Paolo Barcelon there reporting.